Hi, my name is Dr. Matthew Coxon, and you'll primarily get to know me in your first year as your year tutor, someone who guides you through this first year of psychology, but we'll also cross paths on a module called Experimental Research Methods and Statistics. Now, one of the really important and amazing things about doing a psychology degree is that we take you from a position where you're perhaps learning about psychology in different ways by passively receiving information about them. So you're told that certain things are the case based on research studies. And we move you to a point in your third year where you can create your own knowledge and you can think critically about these studies. So you less passively receive the knowledge and instead not only know how to critically analyze it, but how to create knowledge yourself. As part of that journey, then, you need to learn how to think about the research that's being presented to you, and you'll have modules all the way through your degree for the first 2 years where we will look at different methods, and experimental methods is the main topic of this first module in your first semester. So in looking at research methods, we'll look at the basics of different experimental designs, particularly the strengths and weaknesses of those designs and how we might choose one over the other. We'll look at the types of conclusions we can reach and how these may be threatened in terms of their validity and their reliability. And quite importantly, we'll look at how to run a study in practice, what it means in reality to be gaining ethics or to make sure that your study is appropriately controlled. But designing a study and running it is only part of the puzzle. You then end up with some data, particularly with experimental methods. So we need to understand something about basic data analysis and what we refer to as inferential statistics, statistics that allow us to make inferences about what our participants are doing, and in turn, what that might teach us about the mind or the behavior, depending what we're looking at. So we'll introduce you to things like t-tests and other tests for these very simple experimental designs. Then we come full circle. We've created hypotheses. We've run a study. We've got data out of it. We've analysed that data. Then we need to make sense of it. We need to make some sort of interpretation that lets us understand the behaviour or the processes that may be underpinning those data that we've collected. To round it all off, we then report this information back in the form of a research report, which in fact is going to be your main assessment on this module. In terms of how this module is going to be run, we'll have weekly online material for the topic of that week, and that would include lectures and other online activities such as discussion boards and sort of test yourself activities. And then every week you'll be on campus in our labs for 90 minutes in our workshops where we'll be looking at the very practical aspects. We'll be running analyses using a piece of software called SPSS. We'll be programming our study using a piece of software called ePrime. And don't be scared by the word programming. It's a lot of point and click and typing in, and we've got lots of experience in doing this kind of thing. It'll be assessed at the midway point with a short online exam, and then overall the larger part of this module will be assessed with a research report based on a study that we've run throughout the module. So from the very beginning, we'll be thinking about a study that we'll be doing, and then we'll program it, we'll create it, we'll collect some data, you'll analyze that data, and then you'll make sense of it in terms of a report. So not only are we giving you the theory, but we'll have some practical experience too on campus. And that's about it for the module, really, in a nutshell. It's quite an interesting module, and it's an exciting module in the sense that it's moving you from that point of being a passive recipient of research to begin to be, not quite all the way, but to begin to be that critically thinking creator of knowledge that we aim towards on your degree.